Hey there everybody, hope your day's going well. It's your cat Old School Gaming here, and welcome back to another Wild Wednesday. This is, as I said last time, this is the Giovani saves the world theory. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but hell, I'm here to find out, and yeah. I'm not sure how exactly a villain saves the world. Probably by some kind of accident, or I don't know. The original video, I've got 6.5 minutes to figure out how Giovani saves the world. So let's get into that, and I'll see you on the flip side after, because it's Giovani Saves the World by ProtoMario.
Are you guys ready to have your minds blown? Are you? Okay. For any Pokemon enthusiasts out there, you've already seen the title. So let me explain.
Yes, please do. I am definitely, I wouldn't say excited, but I am very intrigued to hear how exactly Giovani saved the world. Well, let's get into it.
Without going into great detail, there's never been a connection between the cartoon series of Pokemon and the games, with the exception of Pokemon Yellow. And even then, it was a pretty big stretch to say that that was actually Ash Ketchum.
Yes, I'll definitely agree with you there, because, the references to the anime stop on, Route 9, 10? Somewhere, going to Rock Tunnel, once you finally get the cut, and then you can cut the one small tree, in order to go through the different routes and eventually get to Rock Tunnel, which, like I said, I think it's 9 and 10, but I could be wrong. But, yeah, the final reference there is to that Sandshrew training dude, and they did want to add more references, and, yeah, Pikachu definitely has unique reactions past that point, like to the slot machines, to any fishing, to... Yeah, hell, even in Pokemon Terra, well, the following Pikachu definitely has unique reactions if you take it with you. But apart from that, there's, it's not as though, it's not as though, Pikachu falls behind while you're surfing. You can turn around, interact with the Pikachu, and it has a unique interaction. There is technically a way to get Surfing Pikachu, which... that's a ways in the future for my Let's Play series, okay, I'm getting off track again. Yeah, so, honestly, the way I would see it, the games and the anime are completely separate, because the games are more of a simulation of what happens in the anime. In the simulation, it's turn-based. In the anime, it's more of a real-time strategy. It's just, okay, I need to think about what move my Pokemon could use to win, and yell it out, and hopefully my Pokemon hears me. Kind of in that situation. But yeah, so, as for Giovani in the games, he's, kind of a pushover. Then again, I had such overpowered Pokemon, wait, hold on, would I? No, not quite yet. Next time, so, no, three more days will be the Earth Badge, where I'll face off against Giovani again. That was actually quite a bit of fun, but, yeah, so I take it, wait, which Giovani we're talking about? Are we talking about the one from the games, or the one from the anime? Because those are definitely two very different people with very different speeches and different interactions with what's happening around them. So, that's a good question. Which one is it? Is it the game or the anime? Either way, I don't see how either Giovani could have saved either world, but, I suppose we're here to get into that theory.
Though they did implement things like Team Rocket and have Pikachu fall on you, it was a far cry from the cartoon series. Nevertheless, we're talking about Red and Blue. Do you remember when Giovani had commandeered Silphco in the hopes of attaining something? It wasn't really described what he was attaining. He only said he was hashing out a business deal, basically. So, let me get off track for another second and then come right back to this.
Well, hell, have you seen any of my commentary? I get way the hell off track and then back on track and then off track, then back on track. Yeah, okay, so we are talking about Giovani from the game, specifically Red and Blue. So, yeah, because Giovani, well, he's more or less, he doesn't want it to get out. He doesn't really want it to get out that he's after the Master Ball, because that could potentially attract some, like, maybe some certain elements that he doesn't want around, so to speak. Or hell, maybe it's less that he knows what he's after. Maybe it's more along the lines of he doesn't know what he's after, and he's interrogating the Silph Co president, just like, so what's this super secret project you've been working on? Why is it so hush-hush? Why are so many people that are working on this project sworn to secrecy? And that project was the Master Ball. And maybe hell, the Silph Co president just went, you know what, this is too dangerous to keep around, so we'll give the one like, well, 99.9% accuracy Master Ball. We'll just get it to the kid who saved us, and then we'll stop any production on that, and everyone who's working on the project will be sworn to secrecy, and hey, don't ever make that again. Because, I mean, it brought Team Rocket bearing down on us, and yeah. Yeah, so, maybe something like that, but, okay, so now you're getting off track. Off track to where, and how's that gonna reference, or how's that gonna veer us back towards Giovani Save the World?
Again, there's never been any ties between the movies and the games, with the exception of Event Pokemon and a few events, though most of them haven't really had their own separate stories within the game tied to the movie. So again, there's usually a parallel universe where they don't intersect. But with this one theory, I'm going to connect the first movie with Pokemon Red and Blue. As we all know, Giovani is the gym leader. And on top of that, it's also shown in the cartoon show that he's the gym leader. In the Pokemon game series and cartoon show, he's the 8th gym leader, equivalent to the Earth badge. We all agree on that, yes? Good. Now, Giovani being the gym leader establishes his place in the universe. He's also the head of Team Rocket. This is also established in the movie, the cartoon show, and the game. Again, the universes don't coincide, just rarely do they touch each other lightly.
Well, okay, I would say that they are definitely separate universes, definitely parallel. There are a number of things that they have in common. And so now you're saying that somehow the first movie is connected to the Red and Blue games. Huh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, but thing is, like, Giovani has barely a connection in the movie. At least in the first movie, because, we see, like, Mewtwo flying off after breaking out of Giovanni's stronghold. But we don't even see Giovani in the movie. That was more just, like, Mewtwo flying away. And there was an episode about that, which, of course, that kind of foreshadows and then leads into the first movie. But wait, hold on. So are you talking about both, or are you saying that because the universes are parallel, we can draw a connection to show how Giovani saved the world? I'm lost now. Huh. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's find out what. Well, okay. Okay. So I guess you got like a little over 4 minutes to go. Well, okay, maybe. What's the connection? That's what I want to know. What is the connection between Red and Blue and the first movie that proves that Giovani saved the world somehow.
So, having agreed on that, Giovani is also the Team Rocket's boss. Now, in the game, it's stated that Cinnabar Island was destroyed, or the mansion rather, was ravaged by a Pokemon. You can find the diary entries when you go through the abandoned, burn-up mansion, whatever it's called.
Well, the Pokemon Mansion, it was essentially just, like, overrun by Pokemon, which... the diary entries don't exactly say what happened, just that Mew 2 was created from a fossilized Mew. They found a fossil Mew, were able to extract some DNA from it, and then created Mew 2 through genetic manipulation. Which, of course, then eventually you defeat the Elite Four, then you can go over to the Unknown Dungeon and catch Mewtwo, and then, apart from that, there's just, defeating the Elite Four a lot of times, and eventually going through Stadium, and getting Surfing Pikachu, and, yeah. Well, like I said, that's a ways in the future yet. Yeah, the different journal entries didn't really say exactly how Pokemon Mansion was overrun. I mean, there are a handful of people, well, I think there's, two scientists that, one says this place would be perfect to set up for a lab, another says my mentor used to work here, but that doesn't really spell out exactly what happened. And that doesn't really have too much to relate with Giovani? At least I wouldn't think so. Unless you're saying that, in the anime, no, because, okay, I don't know where you're going with this, so, instead of me trying to speculate, let's find out.
The name eludes me, but nevertheless, I think you know what I'm talking about. In the cartoon show, that mansion doesn't exist. And again, Giovani does have some play here. In the mansion, Mewtwo is said to have been developed there and was born there and destroyed the mansion, which would make it a research facility, not a mansion at all.
Well, are they doing, legal experiments in there, or... Oh, okay, maybe the experiments are legal, they just want to hide away from competitors, so, on the outside, they call it a mansion, on the inside, it's a laboratory. Or even if the experiments are not, or maybe some of the experiments would violate the Geneva Conventions of the Pokemon world. And so, again, outside, a mansion. Inside, a secret lab. So, that doesn't... Maybe, in the anime, Mewtwo destroys Giovanni's fortress, and then just flies off, and leaving Giovani on the ground in the middle of some kind of field with a broken down mansion or whatever. And in the anime, maybe Giovani just had it on an island just out of the way, so that way no one would really look at it. And then eventually Mewtwo breaks out and releases all the Pokemon and forces Team Rocket out of there, which is why there's no Team Rocket on Cinnabar Island anymore. They were essentially drove off once the Pokemon took over Pokemon Mansion. I think... Okay, we got barely 3.5 minutes left. How did Giovani save the world? We've been off topic for a little while now. Are we going to get back on topic so you can answer the question?
In the cartoon show, when Ash is about to face Giovani, Gary goes in beforehand and is wrecked by Mewtwo. As you all may recall, Giovani allows Gary to use his 2 Pokemon against his 1 to test his psychic abilities. Gary chooses Nidoking and Arcanine, and with 1 psychic attack is defeated. After that, Giovani is summoned away on business, assuming it's something to deal with Team Rocket again. I'm not sure. In the movie, though, Ash defeats Team Rocket at the 8th gym, gets his badge, and moves on. However, in the movie, after a while, Giovani kicks Mewtwo to the side, saying he's a slave, and that's all he is. Now, Mewtwo didn't like that, and of course stormed off. Giovani was like, oh man, I really screwed up. This is where I think the key elements connect. Stay with me here.
Alright, okay, so we're finally getting into the main course of this. So somehow, Mewtwo essentially telling Giovani, hey, you can't actually control me, and Giovani going, oh, crap. Somehow that is the connecting between the anime and the games. How? How exactly? I mean, it honestly, it has been a while since I went through the Pokemon Mansion on Cinnabar Island. I completely and totally forget exactly what was said, like at least word for word in the diary entries. Yeah, I could look it up, but honestly, I'm too lazy to do that. So, well, because you did mention those, unless that was just a one-off mention. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I guess the main question is, how does Mewtwo breaking down Giovanni's Mansion in the anime connect with Pokemon Mansion in the games, and how exactly does Giovani connect, like, how does this all glue together?
I think the movie occurred, and then Red entered the picture. See, I believe the movie occurrence coincided with Red actually starting his journey.
Wait, what? Okay, how exactly does that work? Because honestly, the way I see it is that Red and Blue started their journey, like, yeah, because the anime and the games, yeah, they're separate, but maybe there is some coinciding timeline kind of thing. And if they are on the same timeline, then I would say that Red and Blue started their journeys way before the anime even started, because after all, in the games, you go out and you actually register every single Pokemon, and you get the data and so on and so forth. You actually register them into the brand new invention, the Pokedex. It's a brand new invention. And hell, even like initially in the journey, like different trainers along the road, wow, you're using the Pokedex. That sounds cool. Hey, I want one. And yeah, and then eventually, like, oh hey, I've heard of the Pokedex. It's like, okay, well, they don't say exactly I heard of the Pokedex. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but essentially, word eventually gets around that these Pokedex things are able to register Pokemon. And initially, in the Red and Blue games, like, you see a Pokemon and it's just a blank page entry with a picture. But then you capture it, or maybe you capture a Rattata. Later on, maybe you run into Eradicate, all you have is a blank picture, until you let Rattata evolve into Eradicate, then now you have entry for both. And then when Ash, eventually, one day, Ash begins his journey, all he has to do is point his Pokedex, and the Pokedex gives information about every single Pokemon that he encounters, all the details. So I would definitely say that, yeah, the anime takes place long after Red and Blue would have began their journey, not the other way. But I don't know. We've, well, just under 2 minutes left. How exactly does that work? That's my question. How exactly are you saying that the timeline is the way you're saying, not the other way?
And when Red made itself go, Giovani was there because he had heard of a prototype Pokeball known as the Master Ball that was said to capture any Pokemon without fail. Mewtwo escaped Giovani due to Giovanni's arrogance. He thought he had mastered Mewtwo and was able to control him without a Pokeball. Giovani never once captured Mewtwo. He only used Mewtwo. Hence, the desire to get the Master Ball. When Red came and kicked Team Rocket out of Silphco, he kind of doomed the world, if you will, with me.
No. How? How exactly was that? Because I definitely see what you're saying here. Because, like, after Mewtwo escapes, then Giovani wants the Master Ball in order to capture Mewtwo and, like, essentially bind it to him instead of just letting Mewtwo roam free. So that way he can just like, hey, I have you trapped inside here now, and when I let you out, you have to obey me. It kind of like, I don't want to say rewrite, but I can't really think of a better term. Kind of like rewrites a certain section of the brain just to be like, hey, I'm this, essentially the Pokeball becomes home, and now whoever throws the Pokeball and sends me out, now I have to obey them. Although I don't know, with as intelligent as Mewtwo is in the anime, would he still be able to be controlled by a Master Ball? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Well, suppose I can find out in just barely over a minute left on your theories. So, yeah. How does Red kicking Giovani out and the world, especially when, like, Red and Blue eventually make their way to the unknown dungeon to catch Mewtwo? Like, because if that's how, like, the path you're going, where it's just not, having Mewtwo out wild, able to do things, ruins the situation. Okay, so please explain that.
Giovani was only seeking the Master Ball through misguided means. Nevertheless, he went to get the Master Ball so he could recapture Mewtwo, and Mewtwo wouldn't destroy the world, because no one else would have known Mewtwo's power better than Giovani. So, in some weird way, shape, and form, Red stopped the man who was going to save the world. Yes, it's a far cry, and it's quite a stretch, but I truly do believe that there is some sort of link here, where the parallel streams touch each other for an instant and then just go off into their own existence once again. Never to connect, never to coincide, just to randomly touch certain areas and then leave again. I'm ProtoMario, and I'm signing out, and this has just been another random Pokemon theory that I've thought up, and I thought you guys would enjoy it. If you have something to add to the discussion, please leave your comments in the section below. And once again, I appreciate you guys viewing my videos. Thanks for watching, and of course, happy gaming.
Okay, so I think I get it. So what you are saying isn't that Giovani did save the world, but he could have saved the world. But then again, it's not as though Mewtwo being out and about would actually destroys the world, because in the games, you go and capture Mewtwo eventually. I mean, you do have to defeat the Elite Four at least once to unlock the Unknown Dungeon. Then, yeah. And hell, in the anime, yeah, Mewtwo initially wants to destroy the world, but, kids, anime logic, he eventually gets a redemption, becomes a good guy, and says, you know what, I'm not actually going to destroy the world, but I am going to have to use my power to make everyone forget about me. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting theory, one I really had never heard of until I started doing, plenty of different theories. Yeah, and, yeah, not too long, actually. It didn't take me too long to get through this, which is, definitely a relief compared to some of the other theories that take so damn long. So, yeah, I don't know, depending on exactly what time, honestly, I just want to finish rendering this off, then I'll get on Thoughtful Thursday. Yeah, wow. Yeah, the next Thoughtful Thursday is going to be something. Well, let's just leave it at that. Yeah, and anyway, I will catch you in the next one. So, if you have any suggestions for a Wild Wednesday commentary, put it in the comment section down below. I'll give it a quick look and go Wild Wednesday, possibly do a Wild Lindsay on it sometime in the future. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video. And of course, have fun.